Dr. Stoker, there may be some validity to your statement, but giving up now and regrouping will not make them any weaker. If we are to prevail, we must continue.
But it must be seen the casualties are growing on an unsurmounted scale. I do not think retreating will cause any more.
We will hold firm in the face of this attack. Our respective nations can continue to supply ships until this fiber fleet is dissolved. I will personally cancel any notion of surrender. I know with the level of desperation prevalent among everyone, since there is one last strategy we have not used that would certainly break up their fleet, the ram and detonate maneuver. I will not allow for suicide tactics. What you suggest will cause more unnecessary casualties, and I cannot tolerate that. This whole situation is unnecessary. Do you not see that we are fighting a warlord who has been dead for more than 100 years? Tell me how any of this makes sense.
My sons, we are in need of reinforcements. This blunt attack has taken out more than a few of our ships. Send what else that you have. My brothers, you are in need of the reopening of your memories. From what I have read, it seems after the death of our father, you all came to the realization of his atrocities. Silence, Iota. Do not disassociate with me. You were one of the fiercest conquerors and generals I ever had. You have killed more than any of your brothers combined. And I attempted to amend my crimes by helping others to develop. My brothers, are you blind to the corruption of Bezos fiber?
Iota, why do you insist on pleading to them? They didn't listen to you then, and they won't listen to you now. Fibermen are war wagers, not diplomats.
Then perhaps I will take you up on your offer, Professor. It saddens me greatly. It has come down to this. Laser Baton, activate! Is this true? Iota conspiring to assassinate me. For all this time, security subordinates seize Iota and put him into the brig. In the time it would take them to respond, I can have this laser baton plunge deep into your carpus. You would die from such an attack. What is it that you want, then, Iota? Your freedom? You already have that. Or I suppose you want to be a hero. Call off this attack and save your precious carbon waste. What you say is in part true. I want your fiber subordinates to plot a course to the closest neighboring system. Do it now, or Bezos Fiber will die, and it will be on your hands.
Iota, if that's not what you want, then what do you want? Though I do believe in our agreement, you would halt any further attacks.
Professor Proboscis, get your own laser rifle. You are going to help me hold the bridge hostage. Fiber subordinate, put the ship into lockdown.
Iota, you say who, and I will blast them into oblivion. But I do want to know what you have planned.
Subordinate Commander 2405, where has Bezos Fiber gone? Who will coordinate the battle, if not him? I don't want to work with the UBF if I don't have to. Over Commander 753, I believe that Delta Fiber would want us to continue fighting, even if he was absent. So should that principle not apply here? Message all Fiber Nation ships. I believe retreat has been ordered. Why else would the command ship leave so abruptly, without explanation? The Fiber Nation has retreated, and so has the command ship. Commander 8405, inform all UBF ships a retreat has been ordered. Let's return home.
Why, I don't believe it! The Fibermen have retreated! I wonder why! There was no indication that they were going to lose! I guess they failed to see the point anymore!
I think it may be a trap. I suggest we continue to occupy this region in case they return. Let us reformulate our strategy for greater efficiency. Everyone, meet aboard the Goliath. And I congratulate everyone for their valiant service. I don't quite understand how we have won. Iota, why have you taken this ship so close to the sun? We could all die. Please explain what you're trying to do.
My father has proven that he can somehow survive a great number of things. I staged your last attack, Father. I purposely had you lured into the Red Star Nebula in hope of your destruction. But why would you want me dead? Iota, I have given you everything and anything you could possibly want. At one point, you were my second in command. You weren't my father anymore. Everyone in our family had been corrupted by the thirst for blood. We lost ourselves and became savages, brutalizing an unequipped galaxy. And so, one day you came to the realization that my fiber order must be broken. Son, did you not see anything we have experienced? Look at the disorder and chaos. That is how things are supposed to be. Our whole family has spent centuries suppressing what makes civilization great for our own personal gain.
Iota, I am confused by this. Everyone was plunged into civil war and uncertainty after the collapse of the Fiber Order.
But Professor, more innovation occurred in a few decades after my empire's collapse than during its whole existence. I did witness many great weapons in play during the battle. Father, I think you understand why I did the things I did, why I betrayed and conspired against you. It was never for power, but for a more glory-filled galaxy. And my Fiber Order has served as a roadblock to those advancements. It is time for the Fiber Order to die. Iota, pilot us into that star as you intended. I must stop these proceedings. I have a nation to lead. If I was to die, what would happen to it? What would happen to the UBF without me? Kappa, I believe that is what Iota is trying to say. We Fibermen have bloated lifespans, and that possibly there is a time for us to recognize that we must end our tenureship. Then you suggest we let our lives end, and for someone else to pick up the pieces and create something new. In ancient times of Fibrous Primus, before we spread it into the stars, our ancestors at a certain age would retire to a forest and shed their carapace and become one with the planet. I believe that in a figurative sense, that is what we must do now.
You Fibermen will create a crisis! A humongous power vacuum will appear in your absence. I will not allow anyone to fly into that sun.
Fiber subordinates, seize Professor Proboscis and release him on one of our fiber fighters. This should strictly be a fiber matter.
What you are doing now will send ripples across the whole galaxy. I do not think you understand the full scope of what you will cause.
Iota, I think what you say is true. When I disappeared 100 years ago, the galaxy picked itself up and reinvented itself. Possibly, our deaths will bring about the galaxy's next step in evolution. It is time, Father. Let us make one final voyage into the unknown, and leave the rest of voyaging to our successors. Let the Fiber Order gasp its last breath.